Up next, we will call Chris Orban. Welcome to committee.
Thank you. I'm a professor at Ohio State University, and I've done a lot of work with the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce around computer science. I have some thoughts on this bill. Overall, I'm in favor of some kind of a high school graduation requirement, but the devil is in the details. And according to public information, the state plan for computer science that the last speaker mentioned, we only have about 1,000 computer science teachers in Ohio. And according to other pieces of public data, we would need something like 7,000, or even according to the numbers that the last speaker mentioned, maybe even 8,000 computer science teachers to successfully pull off this bill as it's currently written. So that's at least 6,000 more computer science teachers that we would need to train. That's a staggering number. It's one of the biggest asks that this committee has ever asked of the school system. Last year at the State Board of Education, I shared these numbers with board members. I shared it with the state superintendent of schools. No one seriously quarreled with these basic rough ballpark estimates for how much we're going to have to scale things to get there. So I really hope that you can take those numbers under serious consideration of how challenging this bill will be to implement. Are there ways to make it easier to implement this bill? Absolutely, yes. So there was a conversation with the previous speaker about what can count for this bill. I helped to work with the Ohio Department of Education to develop a high school math class that has computer science content in it called discrete math. It's in every single one of the districts that's represented up here. I believe that math class should count for the computer science requirement, but the way that this bill is written, it would not, because it's unclear if courses outside of computer science should be able to count towards a computer science requirement. If you look at the bill that was introduced in the last session that failed, it included a sentence in it saying that any course that has more than 20 hours of computer programming content should count towards the computer science content. So that's the discrete math course. That's the Ohio Department of Education's data science course taught by math teachers, which is also in every single one of the districts that's represented up here. That course should also count. If you have an engineering course that's not under computer science, but you spend more than 20 hours programming robots, that should be able to count for a computer science requirement. It's common sense. Go back to the bill from last session and just go ahead and put that sentence into there. Another thing you should consider, in my view, is to decrease the requirement from a year to a half year. The tech companies pushing this can't tell you why it has to be a year. Their goal is my goal, which is to have every single student in the state of Ohio significantly engaged in computer science skills. You still get that with a half year. It's twice as easy to implement. We don't have to do what other states have done. Arkansas signed on to a year-long computer science requirement and then realized it was too hard to implement, and so now they're kind of backing off of that. Ohio doesn't have to do it the same way that other states have done. Ohio is 4 times the size of Arkansas. We can do it in our own way that makes sense for us, allowing flexibility for math classes and other classes with significant computer science content account. Decreasing the requirement to a half year is what I personally think makes more sense to Ohio. So I'm happy to answer any questions.